My beloved child, I need you to stop for a moment. I need you to put down everything you have been carrying, even if just for the next few minutes. And I need you to hear what I am about to say, because what I am about to tell you has been waiting to reach you. It has been waiting for you to be in a place where you are ready to receive it. And I believe that place is where you are standing right now. I am not finished with you yet. Let those words pass through the noise. Let them move past the tiredness and the doubt and the heaviness that has been sitting on top of your heart for longer than you can remember. I am not finished with you yet. This is not something I am hoping will happen. This is not something I am still deciding. This is something I have already determined. I have already looked at your life, every part of it, every chapter, every mistake, every moment of beauty and every moment of pain. I have looked at all of it, and I have said this child is not done. This child has more. This child has a chapter that has not been written yet, and it is going to be the most powerful chapter of all. You have been carrying a belief that has been slowly and quietly destroying you from the inside. You may not even realize how far down it has reached, but it is there. It is sitting in the center of your chest like a stone that will not move no matter how hard you push against it. And the belief is this: that your best days are behind you, that the version of yourself you were supposed to become somehow slipped away without you noticing, that you missed a window that cannot be opened again, that the clock on your life ran out before you could finish what you started. And every single morning when you wake up, that belief is the first thing waiting for you, before your eyes are fully open, before your feet touch the floor. It is already there, whispering that today is just another day of getting through, not living, not growing, not moving toward anything, just surviving, just filling the hours until they are over. I see that belief. I see exactly how heavy it has become, and I am here to tell you with the full authority of everything I am, that not a single word of it is true. There is a force that has been working against you, and this force has been very careful about the way it has come after your heart. It has not shown up loud and obvious. If it had, you would have recognized it for what it was and you would have pushed back. No, it has come in quietly, almost gently, dressed up in the language of reason and common sense. It has come sounding like wisdom, sounding like the mature and grounded response of someone who has finally accepted reality. It has been telling you that it is time to let go, that it is time to stop hoping for the life you once imagined, that the dreams you carried when you were younger belonged to a younger version of you, and that version no longer exists. And it wrapped those words in something that felt like peace, that felt like resolution, that felt like finally being free from the tension of wanting something you were never going to get. That force is the enemy, and he has been dismantling your hope so carefully, so gradually, that you did not even feel it happening. He took one small piece of your belief in your future at a time, one small surrender here, one quiet moment of giving up there, until you reached a morning where you looked at your life and realized that somewhere along the way, without ever making a conscious decision to stop, you had let go of almost everything you once believed was possible for you. But here is what he did not count on. He did not count on the fact that I was watching every single moment of that process. He did not count on the fact that I was keeping record of every piece of hope he pulled away from you. And he did not count on the fact that I was never going to let him have the final word. Because that is not how I operate. I do not hand my children over to the darkness and step back. I walk into the darkness right alongside them, and when the appointed time comes, I walk them out of it. I want to take you somewhere right now. I want to take you back to a story about a man who was told by everything around him that his time had passed, that whatever he was going to accomplish with his life, he had already accomplished it. That the remaining years were just the quiet winding down of something that had already reached its end. That man was Abraham. And when I first spoke to Abraham, when I first opened my mouth and told him that I had a plan for his life, he was already 75 years old. 75. Think about what that means for a moment. By every standard the world uses to measure someone's potential, Abraham should have been finished. His strength was not what it once was. His body was aging. The people around him would have looked at him and seen a man whose productive years were over. A man who had done what he was going to do. But I did not look at Abraham and see the end of a story. I looked at him and I saw the very first page of something that would never end. I saw in him the beginning of a nation, the beginning of a blessing that would reach the farthest corners of the earth. I saw a man through whom I would one day bless every single person who has ever lived or will ever live. And I chose to begin that story with him at 75. Not because I made a mistake, not because no one else was available, but because the timing was exactly right. My timing is always exactly right. Abraham did not have a roadmap or a guarantee. All he had was my word, and he chose to trust that word even when nothing around him was confirming it. Year after year, he kept believing through seasons of waiting that would have broken most people, and I honored that trust. I honored it with something that defied every natural law. I gave Abraham and his wife a child when she was 90 years old, a thing every voice of reason would have said was impossible. And it happened, because my power does not answer to the laws of what the world says is possible. Now I want you to think about Moses. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness feeling like a failure. Not days, not months, 40 years. He had once been someone of importance. He had had a name that people recognized. He had had influence and standing and a place in the world that mattered. And then everything he had built came crashing down. Everything fell apart in the worst possible way, and Moses ran. He ran to a quiet place far from everything he had ever known. And he spent the next 4 decades tending sheep in the middle of nowhere, and wondering what on earth his life was actually for. 40 years of waking up in the same place, 40 years of the same routine, 40 years of feeling like the world was moving forward without him while he was standing still in the dust. And during those 40 years, Moses started to believe his chapter was closed, that whatever significance his life was ever going to have had already happened. And then I showed up at 80 years old. I showed up in a way he never expected, and I gave him an assignment that would reshape the entire trajectory of human history at 80, when he had genuinely stopped believing that he had anything of value left to give. Because that is exactly when I move on someone's behalf. Not when they feel ready, not when the conditions seem right, when they have come to the end of themselves. That is the moment I have been waiting for. And there is Caleb. I want you to hear about Caleb because his story is one that needs to live inside of you. When the people around him, the entire generation that he was a part of, looked at the road ahead and decided they were not strong enough to walk it. When they saw the challenges and they saw the fear and they said, "We cannot do this," Caleb was standing right in the middle of all of that surrender, and he was saying something completely different from everyone else in the room. He was saying, "Give me my mountain," at 85 years old, when everyone around him had already handed in his shield and said, "The fight is over for me." Caleb looked at the mountain he had been promised decades and decades ago, and he said, "I have not forgotten about it. I still believe, and I still want it." And I gave him his mountain, not because he was young, not because he was strong in the way the world measures strength, but because he never stopped believing that what I had promised him was real, because he never let go of the truth that his purpose did not have an expiration date. Your situation is not so different from theirs. You feel like your window has closed. You feel like the years have moved past you. You feel like the world has decided you are no longer relevant. But Abraham did not feel ready either. Moses did not feel ready. Caleb looked at every logical reason to give up and he refused, and I honored every single one of them. Now I need you to look at the years that have passed in your own life, the years that felt empty, the seasons that stretched out with nothing but silence and waiting, and the slow creeping feeling that nothing was ever going to change. The years where you got up and went through the motions and told yourself that this was just what life was now. You have been counting those years as losses. You have been adding them up and watching the total grow and feeling something close to grief every time you think about all the time that slipped by without producing what you hoped it would produce. And I understand that grief, it is real. I am not going to tell you it is not real, because it is. You really did wait. You really did go through stretches of time where it felt like nothing was happening, and that waiting carried a weight that no one around you fully understood. But I need you to look at those years from where I am looking at them, because from where I am standing, those years do not look like waste at all. They look like the most carefully designed, the most precisely orchestrated preparation that has ever taken place. Every single one of those years was doing something inside of you that could not have been done any faster, something that could not have been accomplished any other way. The patience that was built in you through the waiting, that patience did not exist in you before the waiting began. It was created by it. The resilience that grew in you through the disappointment, that resilience was not there before the disappointment came. It was forged by it. The depth of understanding you now carry for other people who are suffering. The way you can look into someone else's eyes and know, without them saying a word, exactly how heavy their burden is. That understanding did not come from a book or a class or a comfortable life. It came from living through pain that taught you what pain actually feels like from the inside. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. And the person you have become through all of that, the person you are right now in this exact moment, is the person I need for what comes next. Not a younger version of you. This version, the one that has been through the fire, the one that knows what it costs to keep going when everything says stop, the one that has questioned everything and is still here. That is not a liability, that is a qualification, and it is the most important one. I need you to give me something right now, something that might feel very difficult to hand over, and I need you to give it to me freely, not with conditions, just openly. I need you to give me the story you have been telling yourself about how your life is going to end, because you have one. It may not be written down anywhere, it may not be something you have said out loud to another living person, but it is in your heart. You have decided how this is going to finish. You have accepted a version of your future that is small and quiet and final. You have closed certain doors and you have told yourself that closing them was the right thing to do, that it was the wise thing, that it was what someone with a realistic view of the world would do. But what if that was not wisdom at all? What if what you heard as wisdom was actually the enemy's voice, dressed up so perfectly that you could not tell the difference? And what if the bravest thing you could do right now, the most honest thing, the most faithful thing, was to take that ending you wrote and hand it to me and say, I do not trust this version. I trust yours. I am asking you to do exactly that. I am asking you to release your grip on the conclusion you drew from the pain, because the conclusion you drew was not the right one, and the one I have written in its place is so much larger, so much more full of life than the one you wrote for yourself that when you see it, you are going to wonder how you ever believed the other version was real. I know that something in you is pushing back against these words right now. There is a voice, quiet but very persistent, that is saying this sounds beautiful, but it was not meant for you. It is meant for other people, people who are younger, people who have made fewer mistakes, people who deserve this more than you do. That voice is not speaking the truth. It is speaking fear, and fear, after it has lived inside a person long enough, starts to sound exactly like the voice of reason. It puts on all the right clothes, it uses all the right words, and it convinces you that protecting yourself from hope is the same thing as being a mature adult. But protecting yourself from hope is not wisdom. It is surrender. It is exactly what the enemy wants you to do. And I am telling you directly right now that it is time to stop listening to it. There are things in your past that have given the enemy ammunition, choices you made that did not lead where you wanted them to lead, words you said that you would take back if you could, seasons of your life that you are not proud of. And the enemy has been holding all of those things up in front of your face and saying, look at this record, look at everything this person has done and failed to do. How could God possibly have anything left for someone like this? I need you to hear me when I say this. None of those things disqualified you. Not one single one of them closed a door that I had already opened for you. Not one single one of them changed what I see when I look at your life. Think about Rahab. The world had already made its judgment about who she was and what she was worth. She had no title. She had no standing. And yet I chose her. I looked at Rahab when no one else was looking, and I saw something her past could not touch. I saw a heart that was still open, a heart that had been written off by almost everyone but had not closed itself to the possibility of something more. I chose her not because her history was clean but because her heart was alive, and I gave her a role in one of the most significant moments in the history of my people. Your past does not define your future. Your mistakes do not set the boundaries of what I can do in your life. The shame you have been carrying, the weight of everything you wish you had done differently, That shame is not a life sentence. It is something I can lift off of your shoulders if you will let me take it. Let me show you something. Let me show you what is coming for you, not what might come. Not what could come if the stars align and everything works out perfectly. What is coming, because I have already seen it. I have already set it in motion, and all I am waiting for is for you to stop blocking the door. I see a path opening in front of you, not a crack, not a sliver. A wide, clear path that leads somewhere you have never been, but that has been waiting for you to arrive. And the first step onto that path does not require you to be perfect. It does not require you to have all the answers figured out before you take it. It just requires you to lift your foot and move it forward. I see doors that have been closed to you for a long time, beginning to swing open. Not because things are going to change slowly and gradually. That is not how I work. When I move suddenly. One day things are the same as they have always been, and the next day everything is different. One day you are in the same place you have been standing for years, and the next moment you are somewhere you never imagined. I see people coming into your life who are going to see you in a way that no one has seen you in a long time. People who are going to look at who you have become and recognize something extraordinary in you. Something that all the waiting, and all the pain, and all the quiet seasons actually built. And they are going to walk alongside you into something that neither of you could have created alone. I see the version of you that is about to emerge, the version that has stopped apologizing for still being here, the version that has finally given me permission to do what I have been waiting to do all along. That version is not far away. It is right there on the other side of the belief that has been holding you in place. The people around you have been watching, some of them with hope, some of them with sadness. Some of them have quietly stopped expecting anything to change for you because they have seen you go through so much. And when I begin to move in your life, every single one of them is going to see it. The shift that is coming is going to be visible. It is going to be undeniable. Some of them are going to come to you afterward and ask what happened. How did this change? What did you do? And when they ask, I want you to tell them the truth. Tell them you did not do anything. Tell them that a God who never forgot you, never stopped working on your behalf, never lost sight of who you were, or who you were becoming, showed up at exactly the right moment, and did what only He could do. Tell them that the answer was never a strategy or a system or a set of steps. The answer was a relationship. The answer was trust. And tell them that if I did it for you, I can do it for them, because I can. Your life is going to become a testimony. Not someday, soon. And that testimony is going to matter to someone you have not yet met. They are going to be sitting in the same dark place, feeling the same impossible weight. And they are going to hear your story, and something inside of them is going to crack open. They are going to hold on because they know if it happened for you, it can happen for them too. That is why I have been so patient. Not because your situation was not important to me, because I knew the timing of your breakthrough needed to be exactly right. And that moment is here. So I need you to start getting ready, not by doing something complicated, not by earning your way back to a place where you feel worthy, just by shifting something quiet inside of you. I need you to start believing again. Not perfectly, just enough to say in the quiet of your own heart, I am open. I am open to the possibility that something is about to change. I am open to being wrong about my own future. That small opening is all I need. I do not need you to hand me a perfect heart full of unshakable faith. I need a heart that is willing to let me write a chapter it did not write itself. And once you give me that, I am going to take it and run with it in a way that is going to take your breath away. I have been preparing for this for longer than you know. Moving pieces into position. Opening doors that looked sealed from the outside, but that I had keys to the entire time. Getting everything ready for the moment when you would be in a place to receive what I have been holding. And that moment is now. Not tomorrow. Not after you feel more ready. Right now. The door is already open. I have already pulled it wide. All you have to do is walk through it. I am not finished with you yet. I need you to hear that one more time. I am not finished with you yet. I need you to take those words and carry them into the part of you where the grief has been living. The grief for the life you thought was gone. The life you mourned when you thought the door closed for good. I am not finished with you yet. I need you to carry them into the part of you where the doubt has made its home, the quiet voice that has been saying for years that you are too late, that you missed your chance, that the best of it is already over. I am not finished with you yet. I need you to carry them into the part of you where you stopped dreaming, the place where you put your hopes down like bags that had become too heavy to carry, and you decided it was better to just get through the days than to keep wanting something that was never going to arrive. I am not finished with you yet. I need you to say it back to me, not out loud if that feels like too much. Just in the quiet space of your own heart where I can hear you even if no one else can. Say it. I am not finished with my story. I am not finished becoming who I was made to be. My God is not finished with me yet, because He is not. And the proof of that is going to show up in your life in a way that you are going to look back on and say that was the moment. That was when everything turned. That was when the story I thought was ending found out it had so much more to say. Your greatest chapter is not behind you, my child. It is right in front of you, and I have been holding it for you until you were ready. You are ready now. If these words reached a place in you that has been quiet for a long time, if they touched something that you thought had gone to sleep forever, then do not let them just pass through you without taking them somewhere. Share this with someone you know who needs to hear it tonight. Someone who has been carrying the weight of believing their time has run out. Someone who has started to accept a small and final version of their future when the truth is their future has barely begun. They need to hear what you just heard. They need to know that the same God who is speaking to you right now is speaking to them too. Type Amen in the comments if you believe that your greatest days are still ahead of you, because they are, and so are yours.